Alrighty, everybody, so let's get this started. Took a little bit longer than 5 minutes. Took about 12 minutes. Hopefully we get through this, and luckily I only watched the video once, so I'm just going to fly through this and pray I don't die. Dying Gasp. I love it. He gave me a good estimate of what to expect in this fight, so I know, now I know everything. Not everything, but my brain at least knows how to deal with the fight. Like I said, highly recommend it. Anytime you play these games, watch tutorial videos. They really help. What do you think I'm going to do when this is over? Also, this guy's creepy behind me. I'm slightly disturbed. Actually, this guy. Oh, that's oh, if you can go Super Saiyan. I wish I could go Super Saiyan. Oh no. It's only better do it. I think that was the salt that I think it is. Oh, what was that? Oh, bad thing. Side system. This side. Up to you. Lean forward. You are worse. Your game is mine. Come on. Let's watch this. Everybody want to do it. Why do you have the shield out there? So I don't get hit by that. Camera has to be pointed up at least a little bit so I can see what I'm about to get more of. Scrolls, they all go down at different speeds. Bleed forward. Double going. That means you can do one ability twice. Scurry and scatter. Oh, it's a skill. Alright. That's logic. Yeah, see? Easy does. However, for those who are looking at this movie, why don't you use your other ability to go carry water with my loot? So you get access to the information. Sit where you know damage. Take no damage. I really don't want to die. I'm funny. Everybody was trying to get me. What the hell, teammates? Bleed forward. Alright, double attack. You are wood! This one right here. Your aim is mine! Come on! Where we go? There we go, lost my health. Okay, with this, he will start summoning in alls. Take them all. I don't know which ones everybody wants to go to first, but I suggest this one. On our side, on the other side, Zhed is further and Ancients are trying to do this. Just the max will get screwed up pretty easily. I'm staying right. Not one of ads. This. Much damage is really possible. I think we got this. Something like that. One of the others is tight. Dead. Ability on 45. It's not bad. Oh no, not this. I'm on this side. I'm by myself. I'm in danger. Take the hits. I'm more worried about killing him. This shot. heavy axe M2, I think it's fast, but it's real fast. I think we got it. Gets good health, and then I think we fight him until he gets to his next one. Oh no.
I am stifled by this vessel of flesh!
I think he's sniping, so. Confirm your secret soul temple. Okay. Put my one there, but what about you? Where's the shade? Oh, that's nice.
The future of this town is shaped by my hand!
Oh, it's a big
Raised up by the prayers of most holy brethren!
okay, I make you do that.
Behold, a sorcerer of hell, tremble before my glory!
We're going to do this. That's right.
Yes!
Oh, get on this side, get on this side. This is upside, everybody go die.
I am unbound by the Hunter's law!
Oh, that's cool. You really gotta kill these people out. Grabbing is good. Run this way. Oh, you know, oh, no. This side. This. Okay, this is going to work good. Break the barrier. Die. Go. Same difference. I'm running this way.
This place will be your tomb!
Lost the tank? You can bring him back. Actually, do on the side. Oh, that's one of the physical DPS.
boundless despair.
Running on this side, running on this side, running on this side, running on this side. Let's see this one. Grab my weights. It's still.
My golden breath, dream now of a dark tomorrow. My ungathered might must reclaim its vain reflection.
I don't know this is step.
It's a one name by the century.
At the time of hour, you must pretend to not press your button 50 million times in rapid succession. 3, 2, 1, and. Click, 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 click. Did the one guy really not able to see what was this?
One free. No. Damn you. Damn your wretched blessings.
I don't know. The one guy for the lose. Fast. Really fast. Slowly will approach the darkness to us. Shots get low, got dead movies, almost got dead, almost got dead, almost got dead. A little bit of damage. Healing, taking much enough.
You have no power over me.
Well, I think we're done, yeah. Dead guy. Who is that? It's the guy's watching. Durzo. We'll give Durzo that. He deserves it. He's died twice now. He died so many times. I feel so sorry for that guy. He must have been a new player. Or it must have been his first time. That's what Jesus told me.
Should I surrender this fight, what will become of it all? What will become of our dreams? Our despair? And no one will give appropriate rest, even over 1,000 years.
Enough, damn you!
Infernal strength!
Now! Strike with all thy might!
an axe with yay. Sweet. Everybody gets to stay in this. Oh. He has a hole in his chest. Damn it. What did you learn?
Remember. Remember us. Remember that we once lived.
It's over. Emet-Selch is no more.
More importantly, how do you fare?
What dost thou see?
Her ether. It is as it used to be. As a disciple of Zodiac, the Ascian was the darkness to your light. I can but assume that when you set your strength against his, the light within you was spent.
No, it's more than that. Under the strain of that incredible flood of ether, your soul had begun to break apart, yet now it seems somehow restored. I tried to help you before the battle, but Emet-Selch stopped me. So, how did you... exactly what did you... Can you tell us what happened?
I think the axe kind of gives you a hint. Ardver got to feel one thing, was shoving his axe through Emet-Selch's chest. Good man. I'll explain in our time. I had help from a hero of this world. Yeah, we'll say that.
I see.
Oh look, Ratia's still alive. Got his ass kicked. Jesus.
Where to start? I believe I owe you all an apology. And you, most especially.
It's good to see you awake, Ratia. I'm tired. We'll leave the lecture for later. Let's get out of here first.
Well, 'tis good to be awake.
How the hell are you standing? These are what the ruins look like? Jesus. Wow. Wow.
So, those mad souls dove straight into the ocean over there, did they?
All I could see from here was the whale, Master Chai.
'Twas surely Alphino and those friends of his. They did something heroic, mark my words. You need only look up there for proof of that.
As you say, my love. They're sure to be back any moment now. Any moment.
They are coming back, aren't they? I couldn't bear the thought of...
My God, she has
There,
more money on her
dear.
fingers than I will ever
Everything
in
will
my
be
life.
all right.
Damn, I didn't realize she had so many damn gems.
There, look! Over there, over the beach!
Why is my character passed out on the damn beach? I'm okay. I made it first. I got the dub.
Ho there! Greetings!
You all right?
Welcome back!
Where's everybody else at? Oh, I hear him. Oh God, there's Alphino. He swam.
I didn't think we'd be swimming the whole way back. Heavens. Heavens. Take me.
Alphino! Oh, hells.
Alphino's out. That's good stuff. I love it.
Wait! Where's Eorzeans?
He must have fallen behind.
But shouldn't we look for him?
He'll wash up sooner or later.
For the love of Alphino!
He's gone.
Welcome back, dear ones!
And thus did salvation come to the first.
Is she still shaking him? Oh my
The lamps
God.
of Amarot will fade along with Emmett Selk's enchantments, and
He
the
ain't getting
depths
it for
shall
all.
be as once they were.
She's still shaking him. Like good comedy.
Mount Gulg will one day fall, and the Talos below yield to wind and rain. This tale, too, will fade with time, passing into legend as the world heals and moves on. Nevertheless,
She really give up on him? I want to know where Eorzeans is. Alphinaud slammed the whole way and he's passed out. Where the hell did Eorzeans end up at? Oh, there he is.
As ether obeys the cycle, as death and decay gives way to new life, so too do the memories we share inspire others to rise to greatness. For we who walk before may lead those who walk after. Your road goes ever on, as does your story, as does your legacy. Such is the hero's lot, to touch the lives of countless others.
Excuse me? You're the Warrior of Darkness, aren't you? Where are you from, really? And how did you get to be so strong?
Alrighty, I want to say we're nearing the end. Let me talk to these guys. I knew the Knight's place were amongst the revelers' eye, but the Crystarium was so crowded I thought it safe to speak my true name. Poor Runar and his ilk were gripped with panic, as you may recall. It is customary not to reveal one's true name outside of family and ceremony. Yet when I heard to explain that all present here were like family, I was greeted with an outpouring of tears. An emotional people, the blessed. Oh god, that must have been hell. It would seem I don't know my own limits. I had thought to push on till dawn, but my body had other plans. Still, I did enjoy the carousing while it lasted. Even I need to forget my cats every now and then. But I don't need to wake up. Alphinaud was smirking at my bedside. He said my face was a rare sight while I slept. Gods, I hope I wasn't rolling. Seeing the city still very long tonight, not that I would know, as embarrassing as it meant, I woke to find myself in the infirmary, having apparently collapsed from exhaustion. My aching pride was somewhat soothed by the sight of Owsley asleep in the bed next to mine. She must have been just as weary long as it has been since I've seen her so peaceful in repose. It was rare, a tranquil morning, made unforgettable by the sight of those clear blue skies. Yeah, you were passed out. I can't imagine how you noticed. Why, are you well? No ill after effects? To my eyes, you seem completely healed. It really is a miracle. Speaking of happy surprises made to see the crowd that greeted our return, I haven't realized just how many people we met along the way. Seeing their smiles right then and there, I vowed to do whatever I could to keep my joy from fading. People came from homes around to join the festivities, but most seem to have stumbled home by now. Even so, I dare say Norvont will echo to the sound of clinking mugs for some while yet. I thought to indulge a little revelry myself last night until your RJ began to list all the names of my drunken conquest. I ended up drinking water. Poor bastard. And his tale is a joyous one indeed. Myriad were the lessons learned, yet there's one of particular import. It's imperative that I master magic to grant my feet purchase upon the water. It also allow me to part the sea at will. I must need visit Big Knot in due course and scrub his teeth, and thanks mayhap the airy arts of fairy whale might be imparted to immortal men. We shall see, we shall see.
By your deeds has the blinding light been banished from these skies. and the Sin Eaters driven to retreat. Although our many hurts will be years in the mending, I have faith that this world and her people will one day be whole once more. With no rejoining in prospect, the Source need no longer fear the coming of an 8th Umbral Calamity.
And with that triumph, the future from which you came will no longer come to pass. Yet here you still stand.
So I do. I wonder if that other age continues onward somehow, cut adrift from time's flow. Or have I simply etched myself a place upon this new block of history? Either way, this is an unexpected development. As the summoner of your souls, my death was meant to release you back to your world. Yet I am very much alive, and you are still stuck here in the First.
Oh, the thing does it on its own. That's beautiful. I finally figured out how that works.
I believe I speak for us all when I say that we are happy to postpone our return if it means your life is spared. We will seek out another way.
Besides, I never had any intention of rushing home. There are people here I still need to thank, and this means I might actually have time to do so.
Yet we dare not neglect our comrades in the Source. Mistress Tataru, to name but one, will be most anxious to know how things stand with us.
So, you'll just have to make the journey alone for the moment. Be sure and give a full report to our fellow scions, would you? Oh, and we'd also appreciate any news you can bring us from back home.
Then I see no reason to delay. I can open the path from here.
I imagine we each have matters demanding our attention, so let this be a farewell for us all. Send word when you've resummoned our friend. Oh, and do try to ensure she arrives within this city next time.
Of course. I shall strive for utmost accuracy. No strange forests or unplanned passengers, I promise.
Tap on him.
I'm a little relieved, to be honest. I would have been terribly lonely if everyone had suddenly disappeared. But I understand that you have to go. Safe journey, warrior of darkness. I hope to see you again soon.
Just a moment while I attune the portal. Then you can be on your way. When I was a boy, many long years ago, I yearned to stand tall as the heroes of Eld. But like a fool seeking to pluck the stars from the heavens, my every attempt to reprise their deeds fell short. And then one day, an all but forgotten dream from my youth stood before me in the flesh. A hero who looked at the horizon and beyond and saw I knew not what. All I knew was that I would give anything to stand at that hero's side. Would that it was so easy. The glory of the heavens was ever beyond the grasp of those who never thought to reach for it. But if I have gained anything from all of this, it is the courage to stretch out my hand. Do you hear me, Grahatia? This is no time for sleeping.
Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace in the Souls. What the hell's going on here? Oh, that's a lot of dead Imperials.
To the west gate. I want to know what's happening there.
Same as the others. Struck down with a single blow. An unfortunate day to draw guard duty. Forgive me. These were your people.
We took advantage of this slaughter to slip into the palace. 'Tis not for me to grieve them. That was the Emperor! Wait! Ugh! Eorzeans!
Gaius, you've missed your part in this, I'm afraid.
Identify yourself, demon!
You were hoping for the Ascian? The Craven shed this skin and fled, rather than face me. A pity. I wasn't looking forward to crossing blades with myself. But I cannot deny the feeling of satisfaction. Body and soul reunited at last.
What now? The game continues, but the pieces have changed.
Only if we trust in a paragon's words. A mistake I do not intend to repeat. Gaius!
He speaks the truth. Elidibus is gone. Tore a hole into the rift. Xenos, my foolish, greedy son. Was a second life not enough? Was the Empire too rich a prize to ignore?
freedom for our nation, our people, will never be won by a spoiled princeling. The burden of this throne is beyond you.
'Tis you, father, who have struggled with this burden. Simply holding the Empire together has occupied your limited faculties. But you may take comfort in knowing that I have no intention of pursuing your tedious agenda. Nor am I interested in ruling over the Empire's lands. I came only to remove that which ruins my sport. I will not have my prey stolen by your petty wars and cowardly weapons.
You would kill me just for that.
I need no other reason. Any and all who interfere with my hunt will not do so twice! I heard the Ascians speak of Zodiac and Hydaelyn. Even the will of this star is but a construct of our own making. We shall gorge upon their strength, and then, my friend, our contest shall begin anew.
Xenos!
Damn. Oh. Oh, cool. Oh, you've returned. Was there a lull in the fighting over there? Or... none of our friends are here. That's, keeping that giant uncovered and safe and sound, did you need to use it again? No, we just left. Head back to Renovan's Toll. It's been so long. Alright, let's head in. What do they have to offer? Look, it's Daru. Where's everybody at? Together we Tuesday nights, and we wage a reward, set for the Empire. I think it was big. Okay, I guess nobody here has anything to add. Daru? What? Hi, is it really you? Yeah, I'm back. How? When? We didn't even think you'd be back for ages. Time moves in mysterious ways. Would you rather I won again? Would you rather I won again? I like that one. That's a funny one. Oh, are we daft? I can't believe you're actually back. We heard the good news from our pixie friend, but nothing compares to seeing him in the flesh. As for the situation on this side, the Imperials are still eyeing our forces from far. From what I've been told, the Garlean armies have been slow to react and seem reluctant to commit to any large-scale engagements. It's an odd sort of stalemate. Otherwise, we've yet to see any sign of the awful Black Rose weapon we were warned about. Oh, I suppose we did call in an old friend to help out on that count. Hey, Crown, I had a terrible time tracking him down, though it will be worth it to see the look on your face when you find out who it is. Anyway, I was just about to make contact with this helper of ours, and then confirm the latest news from the front. Might you fancy having a rest for a while? I do. How the world, like back where she belongs, just as if nothing had happened. Though you seem different somehow. You'll have to tell me all about your adventures when the next, we have a spare moment. Until then, welcome back. Oblivion has claimed him. Emmett Selk, gone. Lahabrea, gone. I alone remain the last of the unbroken. Once more I move to reevaluate the potential of these tattered souls. Ah, Xenos, never did I dream you could overpower me so completely, possessed as I was of your body and its all uncanny strength. And now that I have shared with you the truth of this world and its reflections, who can predict how events will unfold? Not I. Oh no. Emissary, what a poor jest that title has become. The flow of history has become muddled and its currents wild beyond my capacity to direct them. You've wrested advantage, Hydaelyn. The thieving hands of your disciples tighten their grip on our star. The origins of the world remain hidden, its inhabitants ignorant of their broken existence, just as you and your creators desired. They celebrate the gift of imperfect life, uncaring, unknowing, as we weaken and fade. Oh, take a nice yawn. But do you not imagine yourself rid of us? That your champion has indeed proven the most egregious obstacle to our ascendance, a barbed thorn in my side. She may yet be removed and cast into the abyss. Oh yes, it can be done. I will keep these heroes mired in the first, and victory will be ours at the last. Wars of darkness now, are they? Then their fate is decided. They shall meet the same end as those who came before, death at the hands of the warrior of light. Oh, that's not good. Seems you were right. Yes, there is something out there. But it would mean crossing realms and realms of this infernal emptiness, which is rather unhealthy for living creatures as I understand it. Even when we restrict ourselves to brief forays, I don't like to imagine the effect it would have on our ether. But you still want to go, don't you? We may have saved the world, but we haven't reclaimed it. And when you put it that way... what choice do we have? Well, of course I'm going with you. That's what family is for, isn't it? Come, let's head back and prepare for this mad journey of yours. Thank you, Thankard. The poor bastard. Is that everything? Please say it's the end? Why? Though blazing skies give way to gentle night, what hand can end the war of dark and light? Play the main scenario, Shadowbringers. By opening the Trust interface located under duty, you may now repeat previously completed main scenario dungeons with NPC avatars. Avatars will gain experience in accordance with their duty participation. For more information, please refer to the help found within the interface itself. Furthermore, bolstered by your experience in the first, you're now able to accept new quests from drop-related NPCs in the source. In order to access them, the following conditions must be met. Reach level 80 in a given job, complete the relevant level 70 job quest, complete the associated quest line. Quest locations and other details can be reviewed at the level 70 job quest journal entry. In addition, quests to unlock new content have become available in the Crystarium. Rest well, Warrior of Light and Darkness, for 2 worlds of adventure await your return. Alright everybody, so this is Future Demon speaking for Past Demon because I decided to cut out the original review that I gave for this game. One reason being is because it kind of got jumbled up a little bit. I was very tired and I was talking very quietly because it reached a point in the night where I'm completely exhausted and I can never tell what's going on. Also, I had to be essentially quiet because I tried to let people sleep, and I fortunately had to suffer for it. Hopefully it doesn't get too much into the actual video where I'm fighting stuff. That's the only thing I can really hope for, but I know for the review it did have an impact. But essentially I actually did go back and look and see where part 2 of Shadowbringers starts at, so then I felt like it was too jumbled up, so I looked back to see where it starts at, and it does start when we finish the Rataka stuff back in the Greatwood, and we are back in Crystarium when a great host of Sin Eaters attack, and we have to do the fighting there. So with that reference, now I kind of have a good idea of where we're at in the game. I do like that portion of the game, a lot of fun. You get the hopelessness of the situation when you and all the Crystarium soldiers basically go out into the fight, trying to, at the very best, try to end the fighting. And beat the Sin Eaters back, repel them so the citizenry of Crystarium, more importantly Lakeland, can survive and be able to go for another day. I do like the mission, it's kind of fun, get you an idea that helping, what was it, Lise, I forget her name, I think it's, yeah, the bunny girl, you know I'm talking about, the captain. Can't remember her name on top of my head, it's one of those two. My brain's just not working, I'm very tired still. Not really, it's only, what, 3 o'clock? Not really. But I like seeing the hope your character brings to everybody as you go through and march through. I do like seeing Ardbert, because he's put in a very helpless situation. Even as a spirit, he's still unable to help people, which I feel has a huge impact on his ability to do anything in this situation. He's pretty much screwed. There's nothing in the world he can do to help the one medic who was trying to help the one injured soldier. And the helplessness of it is when you sit there and hear the guy dying. Very depressing and disturbing all at the same time. But for some reason, Square Enix thought I wanted to listen to that, and I got forced to. Getting through that, having Minfilia, who later turns into Reen, coming to the conclusion that we have to get to Minfilia. We have to use her abilities as the Oracle to find the last remaining Light Wardens because they're so well hidden. Fighting Ranjit again was pretty cool. But more importantly, learning about the one mine that used to exist there, trying to get a Talos working, finally getting some use out of them. One guy being, Jarek being very, very passionate about trolleys. He's very weird, but I'm fine with that. It's okay, everybody. He can be a little weird. Calm down. We're all weird sometimes. We all got stupid stuff we do. Not gonna sit there and get involved in that one, actually. We all have stupid stuff we're into. I play as this character, imagine how I feel. But more importantly, getting into that is, I like the idea of getting Talos operational, trying to find some way of bringing back that mining town, getting it back to where it was. Learning about Magnus's wife and his son, how he lost pretty much everything. It put him in such a horrible place mentally and emotionally. And then you have him being able to match up with Thancred pretty well, because Thancred fell into the same thing whenever he lost Minfilia. Maybe you didn't see it, but he still was in that state when he lost her. Conveniently finding a way to get like the heart for the machine or for the Talos to come back, and it turns out to be his wife. Found a piece large enough to be able to power it. Neat in a way, but still, it's very convenient. Fighting Ranjit was pretty fun. The only thing I wish with the fight was, like, I wish they would have gave you more abilities as Thancred. I fell into a similar issue like throughout the game when we play as different people. I think it was Stormblood into Shadowbringers. Yeah, it was definitely Stormblood. Playing as Alphino and you only get like a few abilities to use. Same thing happened with your Stola when you play her in Stormblood as well. Too few abilities to use. Hien again, too few abilities to use, and you're not doing enough damage. It just feels like it's time consuming as all hell for no reason. Thancred, you had I think you got maybe a couple more, but it didn't have enough of an impact because you only essentially used one. And the other abilities were kind of, well, the one ability was him being able to go invincible, which I don't think they get access to originally, the swordsmen do. And more importantly, the one ability to heal, which is another thing that he didn't have access to originally. So I'm assuming those two abilities do not exist. I mean, there is probably the regular heal. I had to put a jump cut in this. I'm having fun. I did the same thing yesterday too, but same thing. It's pretty much that heal ability, which is if I go here into part 1, you guys can see it. I have second wind. I think most people get access to that ability. I don't really know that because I don't have the other classes. But besides that, fighting Ranjit's pretty awesome, but I find it funny that Thancred's able to do as much damage as he does. I find it to be pretty... I find it to be rather weird that he's able to hurt Ranjit, even though it's obvious Ranjit can kick his ass. He has to be a little bit extra sneaky with it to be able to pull it off. Besides that, finally getting to talk to Minophilia, I feel like it was good close to her character. I feel like they should have, she needed to be removed from the game. Not because I don't like her and her character. I do like Minophilia's character. My problem is that you went off on a tangent where she was with us as a scion. Then she became the Oracle. Then she went to the First. And then she kept getting reborn. I think she has overstayed her welcome. You had to send a character off at some point. It'd be like if they brought Moon Brita back. Why? She died a good way. Well, didn't die a great way, but she died nonetheless, and we should be willing to accept her loss. Eorzeans has not been able to, get anything added to that, but in the end, I believe, in my opinion, it was good to finally ever die. And Reen's a great character to take over for anyway. You get somebody who's staying in the First, is devoted over there, and can handle things. Then you get to fight the Light Warden. The Light Warden was pretty cool. The boss really isn't that hard. It's actually quite a simple boss. I personally, I wish they would have went something more different with it, but you know what? It's simplistic enough for me not to care. But then you also get in the same cutscene where you get a piece where your character, you can see their soul begins to crack because of all the influence from the light. And it starts to get a little bit more rampant when we return to the Crystarium, where it starts to overtake our character, but then it also, there's not enough there to really start to overwhelm us. It's probably on the cusp, and it has imagine a glass of water, you fill it all the way at the top, and the water is it wants to keep going over. It will spill out, but not so badly that it'll break it. When we get to Vol 3, that's when it begins to break. There was that, heading to Calusia, I think we headed to next, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Calusia was a lot of fun. I enjoyed my time there. It was fun. The fight for the Yomor was really weird, though. I know originally with my character level, with the original armors and everything I had, my original setup, I found it very difficult to actually do that mission. And it makes me wonder if Square Enix balanced that at all. Because I don't think it was that well balanced for certain characters. Yes, I did it this time around, but the first 2 times on the armor abilities I had, the first time I did it, I couldn't do it. The second time, I didn't even bother trying. So maybe I could have did it with my Neo-ish Guardian stuff at the time, but I didn't bother trying because I didn't want to care enough. So I just did it on easy. Third time, though, with the armor set that I currently had, I did pretty well, and I got through it. So just try to get higher level armor stuff. You probably can do with any of the classes. I had a similar issue on Stormblood originally. I think it was when I was fighting Xenos. No, I was fighting Elidibus as Xenos at the before our character gets knocked out because of the Exarch. That situation was bad for me because I ended up in a situation where I was forced to. I was like, I wonder if there's a way to look it up online. I think I died 2 or 3 times because of swords, and eventually somebody pointed out a way to kill it fast by going after certain swords, and then somehow I just had enough time to do it. And I think it went back to item level. I don't think I had enough item level up to, or high enough item level to be able to do the missions easily. So I had to be very tactful with my abilities. At the same time, You know what, I'm just gonna put this down here. I'm sick of this thing. I do find Eorzeea to be really weird. It's just how everybody's influenced, and then suddenly they're not when Volturi leaves, and Reen's somehow able to mess with everybody, so they're no longer influenced. I found that to be a little too easy. Although seeing frickin' Volturi fly away with those little wings was very disturbing. I really question how his fat ass flew off into the mountainside with that much girth, and those wings being next to nothing. Now, if he had the wings he did when we actually do the damn raid, or the trial, then different story. If he had those sized wings, I'd be like, yeah, you know what, pretty respectful. Those things could probably carry him. No, those little wings couldn't carry crap. We all know it couldn't carry crap. His fat ass ain't flying anywhere. Besides that, helping people around Eorzeea again to get up to that point. I like the idea of getting us with Master Chai and getting the ladder set up. I just find it very convenient that the warehouse had a couple golem or a couple talus that we could use at the time. More importantly, we were able to get to the shipwright, which I don't know why there's people at a shipwright still. I guess they found a way of like, hey, we have all these tools here. They're useful for building shacks for all the idiots going to Gate Town. Let's take this to our advantage. Don't blame them. Very smart. Very cool. At the same time, I do find it quite weird. Heading up to the town, you find like the group of exiled Eorzeans, the people that went to Eorzeea and then got abandoned and then got thrown out, and there were still survivors from that group. I question how easily they're able to forgive everybody, but you know, at the same time, the one guy, the artist, sat there and said, "It's like I wanted to get in your city, and I was willing to do anything for it, so." I can't really be angry at you guys for what you did because I wanted to be one of you at one point, and I guess there was a lot of self-reflection there, which is pretty neat. Same time, we also deal with the issue of handling the dwarves. The dwarves were a nice little addition. The only thing I find really strange is the fact how they use them. Like, everybody has a beard. I'm not going to question it, but everybody has a beard, I'm just saying. I don't know too many people who even why they had to do it that way, but they did. That's just me, but at the same time, I also found it pretty fun to do. You get to see the other group of dwarves too, and how those two are just spatting because of beards. That's just so stupid, but it's funny. Then trying to lift up Master Chai's spirits, that was also pretty funny. He just seems like he's so self-deprecating. It's like his self-esteem is just non-existent, man. It's hilarious. Trying to think what else happened in that. I think that was about it. Otherwise, I don't know if I agree with the fact they were able to get the talus the size they did so quickly in such a small amount of time. The time gap is non-existent. So it really makes me wonder, like, how fast were you guys able to build this talos in what would be considered less than a day? Because you have to figure, like, I do this game, I'm playing it non-stop. They did it in less than a day in time. So it's really weird they were able to do it so fast. Maybe 2 at best. So I find that to be very awkward. I wish there was more of a time gap in between. That would make more sense. But, you know, at the same time, I know they have to sit there and say, oh yeah, we got to quickly get this process along so we can start Vol3. But it's like, how many people would you need to mine that amount of resources to also gather enough ether to do everything and have this talus without any dysfunctional parts happening with it? Again, everything went according to plan. Really weird. Using Feul, again, was pretty cool as well. Having her have access to this. Having her fly in with the Amaro. I just don't understand what the Amaro are going to do in that situation. They literally can do nothing besides fly around, and maybe literally they look like camels, so they probably spit on them. Going while Feul just goes around killing everything. Oh, that'd be great. They spit on you, and they just keep doing that as she kills everything. That'd be great. I would love to see a cutscene with that. Then doing Mount Golg. I like killing the lion. Finally got that since you see it in the cutscenes for so long. Although it made you question it at the Volturi stuff in Eorzeea. Like, did he eat it? And he didn't. So I was like, okay, we're going with this. Besides that, the second boss. What was the second boss in that mission? Oh god, I can't remember. First we kill lion thing. What was the second boss? I actually don't remember what the second boss was. I don't think it was important enough for me to care. It really wasn't, I think. I do remember the mini-boss, though. And the third boss being the one singer that we saved. Or didn't really save, but we tried to help, and she turned into one of the, harpy bitches. I felt sorry for her. We had to kill her in the end. At least we gave her some semblance of peace, am I right? Oh yeah, I remember second bosses. Now it's the block thingy. Now I remember. God, I can't remember any of this stuff. That is a very unique boss. I like the combat style. I like the use of the faces and then the donut AoEs. It's a very nice combination to make players really think about what they're doing. It's very interesting. I found that to be slightly difficult at first, whenever I first did it, but then after you kind of learn the mechanisms, it's actually not that bad. Same thing with the Harpy Lady. It's like, as soon as you kind of figure out the mechanisms and how their abilities work, it's like, this is very easy. Volturi himself is a very unique boss. I know his abilities really aren't that strong. It's really when he transforms into the Sin Eater Volturi, that's when it suddenly becomes a problem. I know originally they sit there and say the one sword ability that slashes across the map and there's like a gap. The person I watched said that it has a problem, that it is a problematic ability, but I'm just like, as long as you're going around it in the circle and it never hits you, you just have to be careful of it and pay attention to it. I found it to be very easy to deal with. The only one that was a pain in the ass was like when the one, he had another one of those blind angel Sin Eaters. Well, female Sin Eaters come out, and you end up just killing it. It's able to absorb those flying goat. I don't know what the hell they are. All I know is they look like lizard things. Fly. I don't have an explanation to that damn word. I just know that's what they look like. That one was very strange. Then it doesn't feel like if everybody's focusing enough, like a AoE attack, when it absorbs one of them, always hits. Like, I noticed that. Like, some people weren't attacking the right boss, or the right enemy, and it just did it anyway. Killing Volturi at the end was pretty cool, too, because you do get an idea that Emmett Selk had a huge impact on the development of the first. He made Volturi what he was. Then you get an idea of how the mayor originally of the town was very, he was very overzealous. Very committed to gaining more power, and it really had an impact on what the city was dealing with. And you understand why Volturi ended up the way he did. He got the ability from Emmett Selk. His parents praised him as this new god in between man and Sin Eater, so he had this mentality of just being a leader who was just going to send everybody off into a great, peaceful abyss. And ended up he was being more evil than anybody. And he seemed very sad at the end, but I guess it was more towards himself and not towards the people. And then I think that's when your character eventually absorbs him, and then magically enough, that's when his fat ass tries to break out of your damn soul and cause you to be a Sin Eater. Again, pretty messed up spot until the Exarch comes in. I do like it when the Exarch comes in because you finally get to know that's Gratia. Again, funny thing with it is, in terms of the Duty Finder, is you only know who Gratia is if you do the Crystal Tower. You have to do this Alliance raid to even know who he is. And I ended up doing that a very long time ago. When I originally played Shadowbringers, I didn't remember who Gratia was. I just remember they said it, and I was like, I don't know who this is, but I'm just going to say it anyway. It wasn't until I got to the Volturi point and beat him. That's when I remember who Gratia was, because then I had that link. I was like, oh, that's the one guy from originally when I played, I think, Crystal Tower. I was like, I kept thinking Crystal Tower was originally part of the actual Realm Reborn main storyline. When it wasn't. It was an Alliance raid. But you guys see from my point of view, I hadn't played on my PlayStation 4 at that point, and that was like literally months ago, in years. So my memory of the Alliance raids were next to none. I had no memories of it. My brain completely died on it until I actually seen it and I went, oh, that's who it is. And that's when everything, like, it was like, oh, this is great. I love this game. This is really cool. They actually brought in some of the old characters from Alog. I was like, cool, I like this game now. Somehow, and then Emmett Selk stops everything and basically is willing to go. So they say, you're becoming a Sin Eater and I'm going to use you. Have fun, bitch. And this runs away like a flying little bastard with the Exarch. And then there comes Reen, saving you, basically able to stop the light from overwhelming you, but only for a short period of time. To awaken, and magically enough, as you guys can sit there and see now, for some weird reason I have brown hair for this character again. Yes, I'm jumping cutscenes and you guys are going to get jump cuts throughout those cutscenes so that I can make the character look like this. I had to play around a little bit. I thought it looked cool. Again, your characters will not look like this. Mine will. So calm down. If you want to be cool and make your character look kind of awesome as you're playing through Shadowbringers, you can do it too. It's going to go to the, what is it? The Stenian? I forget what the hell the guy is. All I know is he's a barber. And you can change the hair color as you're playing through it. That's all I did, and I had fun doing it. Sadly enough, though, that white hair was starting to grow on me when I got to the end of that. But I'm glad to be back to the brown. I actually missed the brown hair. Brown hair actually looks cool. Especially for this hairstyle. The white was growing on me, but my god, did it messed with my eyes. I hated seeing my character with white eyebrows. If I had black eyebrows with white hair, probably been fine, but no, I had all white. Looked weird. Especially on the tail. I'm fine with showing this much. Yeah, the tail being that white was weird. It offset everything. Besides that, getting together with Ardbert, all the friends in Crystarium, coming to the conclusion that you have to get to Emet before your character is overwhelmed by the light. Reen put it best. She was able to forestall it, but only for so long. And from what we could see through the game was the light kept trying to break out. So Reen sat there and said, let's just stay here and try to figure it out. It's like, we can't. If we stay here, it's going to break and your character is going to die. There's nothing that would stop it. So your options are stay and let your character die, or place all your bets on trying to get them at Silk in time, in which case you can kick its dumb little ass. Well, I guess in this theory, I mean, Arbor, in theory, could just stopped it right there and done it, but you had no idea that any of the information about either one of them. The Undo are a really cool group. I like the fact that they used them. Then they brought back Bismarck, but used another version of Bismarck, giant friendly whale for the Fae people. I like this Bismarck. He was fun. I'm trying to think what else to go on with this. They said the Undo were cool. I like the fact that they kept some of the... They were able to use them in a real cool way, which is the flood happened. The Undo survivors that were out hunting found this refuge place, a refugee camp of sorts, in the Cups. And it's housed with different Ascian structures, and they believe those were the ancients. They were there and they saved them. So I guess in a way the Undo are honoring the memory of the Ascians probably the best. They believe that they're their saviors and that they kept them alive through it when the flood happened. You get to see how powerful the Ascian buildings are. Like, average weapons do have no work on them. You can't damage them in any way. Being underwater for so long had no impact on the structural integrity. It was really a matter of, it pretty much takes an Umbral Calamity to probably destroy those buildings. Which I thought was a really neat thing, because it's like, that's why the first doesn't, you don't see any of these buildings in the first. None of the Ascian structures really have a chance of surviving, because every time they probably, after the Great Sundering, whatever it's called, and yeah, the source becomes so many different reflections, all the Ascian building structures were destroyed. Every time an Umbral Calamity happens, depending on its location, that area would be devastated, which resulted in, if there were any surviving Ascian structures, to go boom. And they just blew up. The only thing that was really able to survive was the Alloc structures, but that's because it's been more recent. They have a chance to be here's, like the Crystal Tower does. There's not enough there to have caused a problem. Ved helping the Undo out, trying to gain their trust, seeing more of the Ascian structures from the final days. Everything about it. I like being in Amrut. I like seeing just the destroyed city. It's a eye-opener. Because it's really cool, because Emet Selch pretty much rebuilt the city with Ether because he missed the city so much. You can tell he really cares about the Ascian people. He gives a large sum of a damn about his civilization. He wants to bring it back, but there's nothing he can do. So he's doing everything in his power given to him to do it. getting into Amuro and talking to the different Ascian inspectors. It's like really weird seeing them because it's like they have some sort of semblance of I guess consciousness, but not enough to know what they are. Until we meet the one in where were we at? The Secretariat or the Administrator's office? I forget which one. I think we were at Secretariat one. And to get the writ of passage, and we talked to one of them, and that one tells us it's like I have enough consciousness to know that this world is fake. Emet built this, and through when he created the city again, he gave me just enough consciousness so I can help you because I have enough knowledge about what's going on. And it basically tells you we were doing this to half our civilization gave up their lives to thwart the final days and build Zodiark. Zodiark got formed, but the planet was still in disarray. It was damaged from unrepair, so another half of their civilization sacrificed itself to bring new life to the world. Zodiark was still there. The people who originally sacrificed themselves to form Zodiark, the Ascians wanted to bring back. But the splinter group from that second group, after the second group sacrificed itself, basically said, our civilization has reached a precipice. We can't keep sacrificing ourselves or others to bring back things that we can't control. Out of our realm of control, we can't keep doing this. The final days basically gave us a challenge. We've done what we can. We are done. They didn't want to sacrifice the new life that the Ascians brought through the second sacrifice. So that group formed Hydaelyn. Hydaelyn kicked Zodiark's ass. Magically enough, everything breaks apart, the reflections, and only a few Ascian survivors were left. La Brea, Litibus, Emet. We killed La Brea because he ran his mouth too much and would do stupid stuff. And at that point, Emet tells us that he doesn't believe we're worthy of it because he sees us as being lesser beings. We can't come together. We don't care about anything. And it's a matter of, if we got barely enough, this is the point we've been brought to with the final days. What are your people going to do when it's the same problem? Can you trust yourselves to do what we had to do? Can you trust half of your species or half of your civilization to be willing to sacrifice itself so that the rest of it can live? And he brought up a good point, and he sat there and said, your people cannot be trusted with this. We can. We are the stewards. We are the ones that are willing to do everything for our star. Your people are not. I can't trust you. Because I can't trust you, I can only trust the people that did it before. And he brings up a good point. It's pretty interesting. And then he puts you to the chest. You fight in the final days in Amuro. Your character does it. Again, he doesn't feel like it doesn't prove anything. He's like, good, you're able to fight everything. But I still can't trust you because you're turning into a Sin Eater. You can't control the light. Your friends are too weak, in which case he kicks all their asses. And then that's when we get overwhelmed by the light, and luckily Oddbud, thanks to the one Ascian that told us, which is our character and Oddbud shared a soul. His soul was pure still. Ours was getting overwhelmed by the light. Oddbud and your character come to the conclusion that both of you are at one point, decides to join with our character's soul, removing the influence of the Sin Eaters, aka the Light Wardens, and basically bringing our character's soul back to normal. Now, there is a bit of a difference. I think later on, somebody brings it up where they notice that there's, I don't know if it's Cryo or somebody, I think, in a later thing sits there and notices there's a little bit of an influence in your character's ether. And it's like that's our part. So now you have one soul again, and you're basically able to go kick his ass, which is really fun to do. Exarch comes back, yada yada yada. You guys all know the ending. I do find it really cool that Arbor was willing to do that. I like the use of when you actually are fighting Emet. I love the Shadowbringers song. It's a really good song. It's a great song. I like being able to, at the last cutscene, your friends come together with the Ether and the White Orsite to beat him. I like the fact your character yeets a freaking great axe through freaking Emet chest and leaves a small cavity there. But more importantly, I like the fact that Emmett Selk basically comes to that conclusion at the end after you beat him. He's like, you beat La Habrea. I have the entire civilization, my entire civilization in my heart. I have the weight of all my people on my back. I am going to do everything in my power to beat you so I can bring them back. And in the end, we won. We triumphed. And he accepted it. He's like, you have proven your point. I had my faith placed in your character, aka anybody's the Warrior of Light. I have faith in that character beyond a doubt to be able to be the new steward, that your civilization, through you and the Sounds of Seventh Dawn, aka all your friends, you people are willing to sacrifice everything for each other, and you beat me. All he asks is, remember us. That's all he wants. He's like, don't forget that we came before you. Keep notes of us so that people will always remember that the Ascians existed. He doesn't want his civilization just simply to be erased. He wants it to be remembered as best it can. Now, Litibus is still here, but you can see Emmett Selk pretty much accepted the loss. He's like, I'm willing to accept you guys as the new stewards. Do what you have to do. Keep your people safe. You're worthy. And I am willing to accept this. And then he dies. It's a great ending. It's also really weird because, like, the way Emmett Selk came off in, what was it, Stormblood and then into Shadowbringers, he came off as, like, he probably would betray everybody. He didn't lie. He always told the truth. But in the end, it's that acceptance. I like the fact they bring him into acceptance. He's like, I trust you. And the only way he could show that is you had to beat him in a fight. You had to show that you could beat his ass, essentially, under every condition. And then it also shows your character as a Ascian for a moment. So it's really him realizing that, wow, you are equal. Really nice. I do like the idea of Gratia finally getting, like, you finally say his name, and he's overwhelmed by it, but I find it even more funny how everybody's questioning the fact that your character's ether is pretty much normal, and they're just like, why is it back to normal? What did you do when we were all out? And your character can either go, I had help from this hero here, I'll tell you another time. I felt like it was like, I don't want to be suspenseful, I'm just going to be like, yeah, I'll just tell them now so they don't complain at me. But again, I love that ending. It's a good ending to end on. Heading back to Crystarium with everybody brings back hope. Same time, I like the idea of Arbor coming back. Now I haven't done all the quest missions for the different classes to be able to see all his friends and, you know, defeat them so that we get access to their soul crystal or soul, whatever it is, the little crystal they have access to. I've only done it to the Bard. And it's really cool playing those missions. I'm not going to lie, those missions are really fun. I probably will do the side missions after I complete all of the story quests I want to for this, at least for the main story. And then I'll probably go through and do the Bard quest later. And even on the channel, I'm probably going to make it like a Final Fantasy XIV, like its own area. Because, again, I feel like this game deserves its own spot, because it's so much fun. I love this game, and I feel like it deserves that spot on my channel. I play the hell out of it. It's a lot of fun. Same thing happened when I was playing EU4 for the longest time. And then I was like, you know what, I don't really play EU4 anymore. I was like, it's probably best if I use this portion of the channel for strategy games. And that's when I started playing Hoi and played Japan. Do I want to come back and play more Hoi? Yes. Will I play more Hoi in the future? Probably. It's just a matter of when I want to do it. Right now, I just don't feel any point in playing it. I'm playing it still off screen all the time. I've probably beaten the game as Germany like a million times. I mean, the next one I'd probably do is the Soviets, but it's so boring as the Soviets because all I do is build a wall, and then I build tank divisions. But then I also need fighter planes. It's pretty much all you do. That's Hearts of Iron 4 in a nutshell. When you play as the Soviets, you just build a massive infantry wall, you hold the line, you put in light tanks in a couple spots to defend the weak spots, and you push through with heavy tanks and fighter planes. That's the entire game. It's a lot of fun. Although I think we do get the ending with the Empire, where Xenos kills his father. And Xenos is surprised. Well, not surprised, but his father's surprised that he didn't kill him for power. He killed him because he interfered with his hunt. It shows you Xenos is not basing his ideals on the same ideals our character has, which is we're fighting for the people we care for in Eorzea. In comparison, Xenos is just killing to kill because you're interfering with his playthings, which surprised me he's willing to kill his father to do that. It's like, why not just keep him and tell him to leave you alone? And he probably would. But after Elidibus said everything, I think he realized that he couldn't leave his father alive because of the risks. If he leaves his father alive, he'll come after him and then keep interfering. He kills him there and now, the Empire's basically thrown into utter chaos. Somehow that won't interfere with the hunt. You tell me. Also, the send-off of your character from the Crystal Tower to head back was cool. I just don't know if I have any more. I mean, Gaius is really cool. I like seeing him trying to fight to protect the Emperor as best he can and wanting to fight Xenos, but I know damn well he ain't going to be able to fight Xenos. Xenos is too powerful. Besides that, I think that was everything. Besides heading back here and getting told that we're getting ready for the next story whenever we get into part 3. I forget if I showed it on this. I might have showed it originally when I did the review, but part 3. Deep within the city of Amarode, Ascian Emmett Selk is at the last brought low. You return to Crystarium victorious. The people celebrating beneath a blessed clear sky. Though your comrades are not yet able to return the source, they bid you cross the rift and relay word of your success to Taru and the others, which we already have. If I remember for part 3 correctly, it should go with the point where we're trying to get everybody back here in the source. So, that's fun. In terms of outfits, I'm probably going to be sticking with this for a while. This outfit has been... It's probably the best overall. I just like suits. I don't know why. And this character fits it well. Again, it's the only one I actually give a damn about. A lot of the other outfits I just think are just weird, and I just don't want to wear them. So we're going to keep with this. Also, we're keeping the hairstyle. Still like it. This one took a while to grow on. There was another one I was using for the longest time with this character. And I bought this one because I thought it looked cool, and I like it still. So with that, not really much else to add. All I have to say is I'm glad I got a second chance to do this review. I forget if I gave Shadowbringers Part 1. It's been a very long time because of the time gaps I've had in playing this. Some days I play it, some days I can't. If I remember right, I think I gave Part 1 an 8. I think I said it was good, but there were some things I wish were better. I don't remember what I gave, but I know Part 2 gets a 9. I love 9. Or I like Part 2. This is a 9. The whole stuff with Amuro, learning all this stuff, I mean, like, it had me thinking, man. I was in love. Like, the moment I got into Shadowbringers Part 2, and that's when I get into that, like, when I originally played through, and I was, like, reading all this stuff, like, everybody's talking, I went, this is really cool. Give me more of this. This is story. This is gameplay. This is what I want out of this game. You give me story, you make it interesting, you give me conflict, you give me the tug and pull of, like, getting into this, and you put my character's life at risk, I'm all in on this. This is cool as hell. I want to keep playing. As I said before, we'll get into part 3 next time. If I remember correctly, it should just involve me trying to get our friends out of the first. And then I think part 4, which isn't unlocked yet, is the one where I go through and do Alizé's quest. Now, there could be a risk, there's a chance that I was thinking about, which is, if it doesn't go the way I think it's gonna go, and I have to do some of Alizé's quest to get to all part 4 to get included, because there might be things that I'm thinking part 3 should have in it that it doesn't, then I have an issue. And that means I have to play more of the game to be able to eventually unlock it, and in which case it'd probably be a delay on when I finish it. I really hope there isn't. I hope part 4 is stopped where I think it stopped. If it isn't, I'm worried. If it is, I'm happy. But there's not much more to add. I know this has gone on plenty long enough. I think when I originally did this last night, I was too tired, man. I was tired. I didn't know what to do. I was rambling. I forgot where things started at, and then I don't know. I was out of it. Then I was still pumped up from playing the campaign. So I mean, that's the thing. This game's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. If you need an MMO with a good story, play this. Now, Realm Reborn is a toughy to get through. I'm not gonna lie. It is a tough one to get through. But when you start getting into Heaven's Ward, it gets good. Like, Realm Reborn picks up towards the end. The last 2 chapters is when it starts to pick up, in my opinion. But Heaven's Ward sets a shining light on this game. Stormblood brought it to another level, and Shadowbringers was perfect. Could there have been better things they did with it? Yes. Could there have been different outlooks they had with this game? Yes. Could they have done it differently, in my opinion, in certain spots? Yes. But in the end, was I happy with what I got? Hell yes. Fun game. Enjoy it. Love it. Great game. So with that, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. When we come back, ladies and gents, part 3 tomorrow will start, and we'll see where our journey takes us next. I'll be sure to see you guys then. Thanks.